And then at Full Gear, Tony Khan, because he's very big on announcements and surprises, has announced that a big signing will be revealed at Full Gear. And he referred to this signing as one of the world's best wrestlers that virtually every AEW fan knows and respects. So who do we think this person could be?
I when we talked about this earlier today, I said Shahid Khan. I'd like to see Tony Khan's dad in the wrestling ring, like doing like an Iron Sheik type thing. I think he's got the mustache for it. Every time I see
He's
that guy.
got,
But,
when you talk about people very rich people involved in wrestling, very different takes on mustaches. Because Shahid has that like beautiful like handlebar twirly thing.
It looks like almost like a Mark Twain, but not like white, like just like dark whiskers with the twirls at the end.
It feels like a fancy way to do a mustache, right? Like a very it's fancy.
It's definitely a choice.
Yeah. Now Vince McMahon, as far as we know, is still going with the pencil thin mustache. And I really think he should consider growing out the handlebar. I would love to see Vince McMahon with the Shahid Khan mustache. I would love him to just wear a top hat and twirl his mustache at, talking about TKO's deal with
he just
Saudi
made
Arabia.
$650 million selling stock or whatever. So maybe that's what he's going to invest in.
He better invest in something, because that's not just walking around money. I hope that's not walking around money for anybody. Like, I hope that's completely impossible to spend.
It's like, I'm really getting in collectible trading cards, pal.
You should see this NFT I bought. It's of a Pokemon. I got a Squirtle. I got a Squirtle.
This ape is bored. He's so bored.
Okay, so we might have gotten off track.
Buying NFTs, brought to you by us. Yeah. Character study was what that is. But
so we may have gotten off track there.
Possibly.
The question was, who could be this big signing at AEW Full Gear, which then immediately led into a conversation about mustache styles.
Okay, so here's the question that I'll ask before we even start to speculate.
Okay.
Do we believe this? Do we believe this is something that is going to live up to hype, or is this going to be something where like Tony Khan trots out someone from New Japan that, is kind of well known, but like had a big run a couple years ago or something, and is like, haha, and everyone's like, oh, that guy, yeah, that's not bad, that's cool.
Well, so Tony Khan has definitely, like we talked before about watering down the world title in WWE. Tony Khan has watered down big announcements.
Yeah.
Significantly. His last big announcement was on a Dynamite or something, where he announced that tickets to AEW All In 2, the pre-sale would start in a few weeks. That's not a big announcement. You'd already announced the event. It doesn't take a huge jump for one to assume that tickets would be sold to this event, right? So it wasn't really a big announcement. So he could very much under-deliver on this promise. But the things that he has said in his X post about it, or social media post, said it's one of the world's best wrestlers. That can only be like so many people, right? Like if you march out Dolph Ziggler after calling it one of the world's best wrestlers, I like Dolph Ziggler. He's not one of the world's best wrestlers.
But it kind of plays into a gimmick he sort of once had, maybe. So I see where the A to B goes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. Now, specifically in the terms of him, though, that's just like
So a lot of people have said Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, could possibly be this person. When you look at it, the one of the world's best wrestlers. I would definitely consider her one of those. Somebody that virtually every AEW fan knows and respects. I think that fits for her too. However, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful just put out a post about 10 minutes before we hopped on
live
here.
on air.
When live, except for not live, it'll be uploaded later tonight.
Indeed.
He wrote that he's heard it's definitely not Mercedes Moné. Moné might be coming in, but like she's not the Full Gear signing.
Yeah.
I find I really have to be aware of what I'm saying when I say Monet. Like it doesn't
Monet.
it doesn't come out naturally. I have to like visualize the word as I say it to sound right. It's like Monet, but the E is okay.
I have to be honest, wasn't my favorite thing she's done. The change to Mercedes Moné.
Mercedes Moné?
Yes. But that's just me.
So not her. So who else could it be? I've heard Will Ospreay is who I believe it most likely will be.
That does seem like the kind of thing that Tony Khan would use this sort of language about. Yeah. Will Ospreay would be a good thing. Like someone that is known, but like not necessarily to the casual fan. You know, he's for us in North America, you know, he's had some short runs here and there or whatever, but like he hasn't really shown up week to week in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So that would make sense, I guess, just in terms of who's available. Like that's the other thing too. It's like,
yeah. Now the thing with Ospreay is he's under contract to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and his contract isn't up until February, thus making it somewhat difficult. However, with AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling having such a solid relationship, it is possible that they worked something out where Ospreay will be doing more with AEW in 2024, but still keep a regular schedule with New Japan Pro Wrestling. That is something that they could announce before he's a free agent in February, so that's possible. The other thing is that Wrestle Kingdom is coming up on January 4th. New Japan's basically WrestleMania. We're going to see Okada versus Danielson on that. We'll probably see Kenny Omega do something on that. And Ospreay is definitely going to be on that show. So announcing that Ospreay is going to be an AEW talent moving forward kind of might help AEW promote Wrestle Kingdom a little bit on their show. So
a little bit of cross promotion there,
yeah. So if I had to place money on it, which I wouldn't do because wrestling is far too ridiculous of an industry to gamble on in any way. But
wrestling, the only sport where you gamble on everything except the match.
I would put my money on it being Ospreay, but I'm certainly not sure about that.
Yeah, I just can't think of anyone else it could be. You know, and that's why I'm like, well, what, you know, like he's already trotted out Ric Flair for God's sakes. Like,
yeah.
Who's he got coming next? Is Tully back?
I just don't know who would fit the bill. You know, because the world's best wrestlers, based on what Tony Khan.
My God, is it CM Punk? And they're just gonna pretend.
I would laugh so hard. There are a lot of
the
people.
Last year just didn't happen. It's like, hey, look, CM Punk.
Wouldn't that be great if AEW like did like a dream sequence thing where they revealed like all of 2023 was just a fever dream? There are people who believe that CM Punk is going to be revealed as the devil in that whole angle. And Punk himself is playing into that because he's been posting things on his Instagram of him in with devil horns on.
Yeah.
He's also been posting stuff teasing, you know, like he posted like that he was working out to War Pigs by Faith No More, and War Pigs by Ozzy Osbourne is the song for Survivor Series. So some people took that as a hint that he was going to Survivor Series. So he's just fucking around.
How much red yarn do you people go through in a day?
Too much, man. Well, that's what like there is
so let me just lop that whole thing off at the knees, because this who is the devil thing has been one of the more consistent week to week stories in that it's been happening week to week.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they would like that's not how they would tell us. Like CM Punk, like we're all going, who's the devil? And CM Punk's like, look at me. Like that's not how they're gonna tell us that that's the truth. So I don't think it's CM Punk. But I do think it would be amazing if they just pretended there was a time jump in the last year didn't happen and they brought in CM Punk as if he'd never been there before. That would be incredible.
I think there are a lot of options for the worst possible person the devil could turn out to be. Without a doubt, the absolute worst person to be revealed as the devil in this angle would be Tony Khan.
Oh.
It was me, MJF. It was me all along.
Oh my God. I hate that you put that idea into the universe because like
he has said that he doesn't want to be like a character on the show. Like he'll come out and do
probably
those
stop
announcements.
showing up every week.
That's the thing though. He does show up and do the announcements, right? He didn't do that at first. It wasn't long until he was doing the announcements. But like it's not a big leap to doing the announcements to being the GM, right? And getting involved in story. So yeah, I don't think so, but that would be the worst possible reveal. I don't know. I don't know who I mean, it could be Adam Cole and
Roderick Strong is a pretty
Roderick Strong.
But that's kind of the obvious one.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be like the new signing and the devil reveal could be the same thing.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
So it could be like
his new signing could be the devil. He has signed the literal Christian devil to a contract, and he is here to wrestle. This isn't a mask. That's the joke.
This isn't a mask. This is the real devil. Miro comes out and aligns with the devil, and they're gonna is like to feud with God, like he's been doing for the last
Malachi
year.
Black runs out and is like, "You never called, dude. What's up?"
I'm having some people over to my house later if you want to come by.
Come by and we can spin kick stuff. I feel like
Brody like pulls him away. You're embarrassing yourself.
You're gonna have like 3 different kinds of Doritos.